All right, folks, welcome back to another episode here in the Empire of Oppression playthrough, the 19th campaign that we've done here on the channel. And it looks like, man, we could have battles starting anywhere. Well, no sooner did I say that than a battle appears that's not actually on the map. Not in front of us. It looked like we had two in Virginia, and it looks like we're going to get one out in Kentucky. So, yeah, it looks like the forces are relatively even. All right, this is the battle for Louisville. At the end of the last episode, we saw one division of, I think it's called the Army of Kentucky, and I think their HQ might be here. Started to show up like it was going to be in Louisville. The other two divisions in this corps, in the Corps HQ, are up almost in Ohio, so they're kind of on the other side of Kentucky. But we'll deal with it as best we can. We'll find out whether we have to attack or defend. We are in this battle. We were sitting still, and so maybe we can defend. Maybe that's a bit. It's so interesting that on Louisville, you never know what the map is going to be. It really depends on where it is. Because all right, it's the hoedown road. It's only the hoedown road as well. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to set up the defenses. We have 7.5 engineering points. We know they can't go this way. Right, so they got to come up and over here. They got to come down here, and we have to form up behind it. I think I know what I'm going to do, but let me actually do it. All right, so we'll test the approach and see if it works. But knowing that this is the only victory point, there are actually a number of ways over, and I elected not to defend over here. Maybe that was, since I have some time to figure out if this was right or wrong, I guess we could kind of send vessels here. But Scammon is, let's see. I think we're going to send Scammon's Kev up here. He's still under Burns's command, so we'll send him up first. I don't know. I liked Steven's spot, just up on this rise. I thought the two most likely paths are right, coming over here or coming through the street. Now that I've put basic parapets here, and I don't put them right up on the fence because I want them to cross over rather than trying to engage in a shootout. I mean, from the forest to here, they might be able to shoot at match. How about max range? Uh, but I'd rather be set up a little bit further back. I don't know. This seemed a bit wide, but now that I've kind of built fortifications over here, I'm starting to think that maybe we ought to move them there and then move Stevens artillery off the high ground. Unfortunately, until we have a better sense of where the CSA is going to make this attack, because we're pretty much dead even in terms of overall numbers. I'm going to put you all on pause. You don't have to sit here while I run around and try to find the other side. But this is it. We'll see how it goes, and now we just got to find out which route the AI is going to take. Again, we kind of know where they came in, and it's just a question of where do they go? If they do take this far, I mean, they can also go far left, right up here on the road. This is high ground. I remember this from a previous map. Not a huge mountain, right? But coming down there is this. I think this is the point, right? It's the hoedown road. Yeah. So you can see it slopes down gradually from up there. It's not like one of the mountains, but it is something you have to contend with. I guess if they come over here, the defense would be, keep the artillery near the road, maybe put some troops in here in the forest to get that cover, give them an open field, maybe anchor the defense over here and just kind of see what comes. But that's my early thinking. It doesn't really matter. We'll have to adjust as the AI develops. All right, so we see Eccles, right? Oh, so this is John Eccles, not Matt Eccles. But anyways, well, we know where the AI was thinking of going, and I guess we kind of saw where they were going. I don't know how they're actually going to react to all of this when they see it. We certainly don't have to lose Scammon for this. That doesn't seem to make any sense. Burns can fall back to this side of the bridge. I've thrown skirmishers in the woods here, over here. I didn't in the center. I didn't put anything on the CSA side, but I did put all my skirms on the fence just so we'll have a cover bonus. I don't think that counts as forest. Yeah, it doesn't look like it should. Does this? That actually does. That little patch. because it is green there on the map. So anyways, that's that. And then over here, I set these skirms up, and I could probably, I think I'm going to end up pushing up towards the fence anyways, but set 3 sets of skirmishers up there, and then we have 2 that were guarding the backside to cover their eventual withdrawal. So we'll see where the AI goes, but they're getting quite close now. I don't think, we're just going to bring Scammon back with his scouts because we're just going to have him flex. I'm more worried about the right, where Wessel's, now that I see it, I feel dumber than not dumber than I should, but feels pretty par for the course actually. But we'll see where they turn up here if they realize that their path is interrupted. But now remembering the AI, even though I set them not to worry about fortifications and try too hard to flank them, they usually do. So we'll just see where they turn, and we'll see how things go. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe Stevenson's battery. I guess it doesn't have that far. It's going to move up. Right, if it moves up, it'll probably be to here to put some shots over there. And Burns. Yeah, Burns, you can... I guess this is kind of equidistant. I'm just assuming that the Cav is actually showing me where they're going, having run Scammon back so far. But again, we still have skirmishers on their side over here that'll give us a first alert. I don't know if I should have pushed those skirmishers up here to that fence to slow them down. But really, I kind of want them to come over the bridge. I'm not trying to stop them from moving over the bridge. I want them over and then maybe not pounce on them, but certainly throw 2 or 3 regiments for each one that comes over as long as we can. And then pepper the rest with artillery. So, yeah, all right, that looked like another infantry regiment that's kind of falling in and out. So knowing that, at least believing that we know that, I don't need Brooks. I don't need Brooks sitting here. I want Brooks. I don't want Brooks marching up there either, but we'll have Brooks move back here. Skirmers will stay up there, just in case, just in case this is all bad intel. Then the skirms can at least delay, and then we'll move Brooks back. But I think we'll plan to sit there. Scammon is here, and we'll just wait for some indication. I think I probably could have just left Scammon's Cav looking over the bridge and moved the entire brigade this way, but the infantry brigade this way. But I doubt that I would have Cav here pinched between 2 of my own brigades. I mean, I could see me doing it accidentally, which is par for the course, but all right, so now we actually see them. And it looks like the right side. Make sure the saber shines, boy. Maybe a fair spot for Cav, although Cav hate fences. Might be over there. But again, I don't want to contest this too hard. Skirms to slow them down to make sure we're in position, but beyond that, I don't feel obligated to do too much. We can move Burns. I guess it's a question of what do we want to do with Heyman's brigade. We know where his skirmishers are.
No slacking, so
Maybe the artillery to get a decent angle goes like this, because we know the Cav's going to move out. And we should be able to pepper things as they approach the bridge. Other than friendly skirms up there, I don't see too much I would need to worry about. So I'm pretty comfortable with that. And now we seem to have lost them in an open field. Oh, what is this? What is this?
Sergeant, any word from the...
I thought that this would be too wide. Right. Particularly when they label it a river. All right, so zooming out, we saw them here. I thought maybe I saw somebody back there, but I guess not. And, yeah. Alright. So that's their cav riding into my skirmishers. That's fine. Sir? I'll help him out. I'll put him in loose formation. Cav's where I want it. My cav is where I want it. Firing. Firing, firing. As long as they have targets to shoot at. Okay, all those batteries found targets to shoot at. I'm okay with that. Brooks. We're gonna have you march to there. I also think, let me just zoom out here. I do see some that are apparently moving this way. Yeah. They don't look too strong. I was thinking of recalling Brooks's skirmishers, but you know what? I will. I'm not. It's more for role-playing reasons than, you know, any sort of optimal play. But I'm really banking that brigade is going to be able to slow down this advance. I know there are... Wow. Van Allen's detachment certainly doing good work. I don't know if these guys will listen to me and lay down. But the AI... Yeah, they didn't press up. They also didn't advance behind a skirmisher screen of their own. They probably could, because with only 5 victory points worth of objectives... Yeah, it's a close map, but I don't think it's one where it would be decided primarily on victory points. So, I won't click on them, because then I'll know where they're going to go. Maybe they're going to go this way. Thought better of it, but... I think Heyman is going to have to use his own skirmishers to figure out what gets defended here and what doesn't. Yeah. So that's longer range than I thought. What do we have? I know some of these troops had plains rifles, or I doubt they're carrying around their Mississippis. Right, they had Mississippis, they have Springfield muskets, they have Springfield rifled muskets. So it's an interesting... Fayetteville. There aren't too many of those in Springfield muskets. So I guess if I were really min-maxing, right, we'd probably get those Springfield muskets and maybe get them ready to move closer, but... Alright, marching in front of the artillery was not the brightest thing we've ever done. We will get back to that. We will see what the CSA comes up with here. Ah, more than one had that idea. So the really long, I mean, the better weapons they have should be able to shoot over, but I think the rest are going to have to cross and then shoot just as they're doing now. O'Neill is there. Weems is there. Not looking good. Long-range shooting brought to you by Matthias Henry. Weitzel is there. And how about on our right? CSA starting to cross. That is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, coming up to skirm is probably not what they want to do. They probably want to cross as soon as they can. O'Neill's taking some licks. Weems is broken. Henry's doing fine. But this doesn't seem like it's the big fight. Right? The big fight seems like this one over here. Alright, Foster's skirms are shot back. I thought maybe Skamman's Cav might have a range here. Okay, they do. Just on that unit. Who was that? Herbert. See the artillery plugging away. CSA's gotta hurry up, man. That is a very fast reinforcement. I think it's the skirmishers who broke, but alright. They're gonna cross. They have us ahead. I don't know if I believe we're that far ahead. All right, that's Burns' division. But we're just looking for the brigade here. Yeah. I still don't know where that guy is. I know Burns is here. Alright, maybe we can move Heyman up to the fence. I don't know. We've already pushed him back. Like, the enemy's doing what you want, you know? We want him to come forward. Don't scare him off. I really can't find that Corps HQ. Where is he? How are we? Unit is outside its commander's... Oh. Well, he's hustling to get there. Not sure what I did, but something. So the reason to push up now is that it looks like they're outranging some of my units. And now we'll see if this idea was a good one. careful about getting my cav killed too early in the 1862 campaign season here. We must be outranged, which is okay. We'll eat it for a second. And so, all right, Brooks is here. We have to charge, we'll charge. But kind of keeping an eye on what's going on over there. It looks like they're rallying back. Somebody's pushing over with a head full of steam. Maybe it is just a detachment. But this still seems like the bigger fight, so we'll take it. The way I think you want to do this, I'm sure you're all more knowledgeable about this. If you were the AI and you're worried about them doing what I just did, not that the AI usually would, is you keep some of your force back to shoot and then you cross over. It's the best of a bad situation, right? It's a 50-50 fight. It's not like you have a ton of troops you can commit. Well, when you got the firing line going, just let it go. Heyman got through that real easily, I think. Might be able to chase some of them. Look at that as concave goes. That was pretty good. All right, so they had 286 killed. We had 63 killed. So that, I don't know if anybody needed to become a national hero for that, but you know what? It's not terrible. I would take it. I don't believe the whole we're out of supply thing. Now we can see this. So we knew Forbes and Baylor are down here. Casey's here. And should probably wait for reinforcements. Lovell is there, that's fine. Sheridan's coming down, that's fine. All that's from the previous episode. And then Burns is kind of the trump card here. And again, we have no actual idea if this intelligence is accurate. This group before has tried to fight over here. They set up a supply depot, I think, around the Vanceburg Ferry and done some other things. And so who knows if any of that is correct. In Nashville, we're kind of just holding and waiting for more to come. Probably off camera. Yeah, we got, well, it's really 6 corps and then the 1 division, or part of 1 division of the 7th Corps. Probably need to start creating some new ones, but the finances have been rough for so long. You see, it's mostly army upkeep. It's a little hard to believe, but alright, it is what it is. Subsidies are a lot of it, but it's mostly army upkeep and the associated supply depots. I think off camera, I did another take of Civ Order. I guess we didn't have enough for Farm Mech. I did. Oh, we're almost ready for a new take of propaganda. Yeah, we're almost ready for a new take of propaganda. And Civ Order was definitely on there. Improved credit rating. We'll probably only have the subsidies to do it twice in this war. I think maybe a 3rd time, but you can only go back to that well so often. So on credit rating, yeah, we've pulled ahead of where they are. You can see in terms of wealth, though, we've actually plummeted because of, it was pretty much because of war bonds. Again, it's a good benefit, and it's probably still undercosted, but it does hit you on public wealth, which then affects public national morale, which also affects national support. And so I think it's an interesting dilemma, but I figured I would do it now. I didn't go with either of the print notes. That would further reduce public wealth. Maybe I could do it because, again, my main problems seem like they're financial rather than national morale or national support stuff. Like, I have national morale to burn, and so if I wanted to burn that for economic reasons, I think it makes sense to do. But yeah, there are a whole bunch of battles here that I think I'm ready to go for. If those are only 2 divisions, we should be able to push them out. I don't know, and the intelligence this far in is really hard to tell what's there and kind of what's old intelligence or was just never right intelligence. I know when we tried this concentration before, the supply situation got a little hairy. McDowell, yeah, he's being McDowell. He's going to be that way for a while. Alright, clearly they want to fight. I kind of want to fight here just to free this core up and try to do something down here in Nashville. I really don't think that this 1st Division is going to do anything. I think the 7th Corps is going to focus on helping out Kentucky and Tennessee, because I think that's where the real struggles are. I also don't know what happened. This is supposed to be a modified summer 61 campaign, which means the forts are supposed to be here. And they're not. Or maybe I have to run into them and do the reconnaissance and force thing, but they don't appear to be there. So Burns is here. Yeah, it looks like they're moving this way. We can't have them sitting around behind us. We do not want that. So I'll order them in, bring the HQ up. But I don't want to do the Benny Hill thing and just kind of run around this triangle for all of 1862. We got to bring the battle and then get out of here. So that's my thinking there. Projects, again, we're almost ready for another propaganda, which helps on national support. I think off camera, so we didn't we beat the fort, but we didn't excuse me. We beat it, but we didn't take it. Atlantic Squadron looks like it could actually go in for a fight. You know what? So can this one. Delaware Bay. I think at this point that fort can fight back. So I'll roll the dice a bit here because I kind of wanted to be done with the East Coast by this time. It's okay that I'm not, but Atlantic Squadron 2 is fairly beat up. And so want to get that one healthy, and then we'll have it rejoined. But otherwise, we're on blockade duty. Naval upkeep is so low, we can probably take a bunch of the ships out of harbor, and probably actually put them to blockading. See, in terms of the economy, we're at about 700. Not really clear to me what the unit is, but 700, and the CSA is down to 132. So I think sometimes it's like 4-1 in the regular campaign, and even though I've added Mexico and a whole bunch of other things to it, it kind of feels like it's the old ratio coming back. So maybe it's not. Maybe it's just me misremembering the past, but that's what I thought it was. Smith Division there. What is this? Where is this? Okay, this is the battle I said I wanted. Now we'll see if I feel that way at the end of it, but it's okay. So they get reinforcements at 10 and 12 hours, and we get them at... Well, that can't be right. That's the entire force. So Burns has got to start on the battlefield. Maybe Casey does too. We'll find out when we get there. We'll see what battlefield we get. I like the one before this. It's not a complicated battlefield. I think it's one of the generic ones. I believe it's generic, not historical, but still pretty good. What do we have? Oh, Perryville. I like Perryville. It's an interesting map. Nevada. It's an interesting meeting engagement, and you need to control 2 out of the 3 points. I don't know why, but I kind of like this. And again, if they hadn't just lost that battle we fought, the 2 sides would be even in terms of numbers. All right, so we've been kind of slammed in that corner. We have another force down here, and it looks like we're going to try to concentrate up here and try to hold those 2 points. I don't think that is really going to work. It looks like the CSA could come in at either point, and so we're kind of looking for the area just north of Perryville. All right, so as luck would have it, actually my entire force showed up at once, and it's 7 in the morning. Burton's division's down here. This is the one that was in the previous battle, and they're going to be ordered over here because they're kind of on the right. We might have to actually cross through Perryville, so we'll see how that goes. Sheridan, the Corps HQ, and the other 2 divisions ended up over here on the left. So kind of see how things are going to shake out now that we have Sheridan here. But we have 1 division, I don't remember if that was Casey or who that was, up here on the left. This should be a fairly easy spot to take and hold. Assuming that we can get the roads that surround it, it would be very hard for the CSA to hold it. I mean, how do they get in there? Right? They'd have to come in over here, then they'd have to come up here. It would be challenging. Then the challenge is on the other foot. And this is, if you kind of think about this as like Total War Warhammer and other games have that kind of system of contesting the battlefield, right? And so you get these victory points, you got to hold them to drain tickets, that kind of thing. This is kind of their home objective. Crawford is a tough one. I think there was a battle in this campaign early on, and we did a lot of fighting around Crawford. The ground is very low. Some of the ground overlooking it, particularly here, is very steep. This should be fairly easy. This is one where we have an extra division, and so as long as we don't completely screw this up, which we might, we should be able to also get the victory points if we weren't able to, right? And if that 3rd division was with the CSA here, I think that they would be in a very reasonable position to defend 2 victory points, to drain those victory points. Oh my goodness. They are not anywhere near where I thought they were. So I don't want him going any further forward. I don't want Nagley going any further forward. Scammon actually can. I'm not that worried about Scammon, but yeah, starting this far up, we'll see if they want to make a battle out of it. Don't know. That's right. And Sykes is probably, they're probably just going to both keep going because they will. But they're in the bend, and the problem with the bend is that if we get troops all along it, we can shoot into it, and they're going to have to pay a lot of casualties in order to hold it. And why? Doesn't seem like there's a very large prize there, but Sykes. I mean, I kind of want to pull him back, but we do have troops that are moving fairly quickly. I'll just have Sheridan give the order for everybody to double quick it up. But as long as we don't fight him piecemeal, and here we'll clean things up so that we have everything looking as good as we can, we should be okay. Minor defeat. Now, why is that? They have a morale advantage. And maybe the downside, though, of both their divisions being here is that now they don't control the majority of them. But again, I kind of think we're angling more for doing something on the battlefield rather than that. So I'll put you on pause because I don't feel like keeping you here. You know what? Sykes, I think you just want to pull back probably. Or slightly less cowardly, can actually get you ready to fight and try to hold this high ground. I did not realize that this was a stone wall or that these were stone walls. Right, that is fine, fine ground. I think rather than telling Nagley to stop, probably makes more sense to just give him an order to come back. If it gets there in time, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. Again, we don't need his scouts out anymore. We know where the threat is. Similar story, I think, for Scammon, who maybe we could get him over here, right? On the stone wall overlooking the point coming out of Walker's Bend. So where's Greg going to end up? He's going to end up also in that stone wall area. Challenge here, although they deployed us on this road, this was in our deployment circle, so I put all my troops up here because there was just a much nicer angle, although they seem to have kind of traveled off it and they've gone on this path here. But then again, they're kind of supposed to end up over there, so maybe they're fine. Burns's division. Yeah, I don't know about that. We certainly don't need Lovell's division going there. Not yet. We kind of need them to do other things, but yeah, if we can get some forces just to take this ground for a little while, should be all right. Can't tell what the AI is going to do. I keep thinking it's going to get interesting, and then it doesn't, and let's put you on pause until it does. So it's probably not going to go well for Nagley. You were not gone long, but his cav got run up on by Caudle's cav, and I can see the courier trying to show up to Nagley, and he's going to show up just a little bit too late to tell him to pull out. I didn't realize that there was this ridge here. Very nice looking. But it looks like the CSA has captured this point, and they're going to kind of swarm off of it. All right. Not too sure about that one, but... So I think it was Lovell who, yeah, we ordered them to stop. In part, it allows, I think it's Abbott's division to move on through. But the infantry is going to be more important here, so I want to keep Lovell moving if we can. And maybe we'll just have them deploy over here and just go from there. Nagley at 456, and I felt like they had more combat than maybe the 1 star on them and 2 stars on their commander were. But I guess they've had more than enough combat for Caudle's cavalry, which does not look eager to continue that fight at all. But then again, neither is Nagley, who's going to break very soon for reasons entirely unknown. But yeah, Nagley may have gotten that, but it looks like McIntosh's cab is following that up. So we will see what happens there. But yeah, Nagley really needs to pull out, man. Because all those CSA forces are going to come down here. Maybe the best case scenario is that he just breaks before he takes too many casualties. Doesn't look like it's going to happen now. All right, Sheridan, Core HQ. We can put him over here on the Macville Road. That'll keep him roughly equidistant from his division commanders. Lovell is, man. I don't know whose fault this was, but because the AI never puts them in loose formation, I guess I will, but they're kind of moving while Nagley is shooting them, and that's exactly where Nagley wants to be. Well, if nothing else, Nagley's Cav should get some nice experience from that fight. La 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 la. Huh. Looked like the victory point kind of disappeared there, but probably just an optical delusion. Nothing to worry about. Alright, Sykes can go forward and try to cap that. Not sure of the wisdom of this move, but I don't think the CSA is really that worried about me, but maybe to stay on theme, we'll send Scammon towards Nagley to see if he can help out. While Sykes moves up to cap. Barnes and Barnett. Yeah, let's bring both of you back here and get you some stonewall cover. You two and you two. Yeah, I don't know that I've ever had a battle up here. If I have, it has not been recent. I think there was one where we maneuvered up and around here near Crawford, but the fighting made it that far back. It does seem like on certain battlefields, the fighting tends to be located in just a few places. Yeah, so they're going to break within the hour. McIntosh doesn't look like he's that much better off. And we're plotting along here. So we actually got a little bit of fighting over here. We didn't have enough without skirmishers to start capping Walker's Bend. I think with skirmishers coming in we should, but the CSA actually left a few regiments, looks like 2, if not more, that are here contesting it, and now it looks like other CSA groups are coming back. Yeah, may be good for them. I don't think it is, because we have a much stronger position than we did a little while ago. Right? We have all these regiments here with stone walls. We have support over here. We haven't even thrown out skirmishers from these guys yet, but this has got to be a very strong position. And again, just how high this ground is seems impressive. So I don't know who's actually coming back here. It was probably just another delusion where it looked like some were coming back, but they weren't. I don't know. But if they don't come back, I think we're going to eventually take this point if we have to. I was surprised how far Nagley was running. I don't know if he ever rallied or not, but he looked like he was huffing it. Alright, so he did stop short of running off, which is good. And you can see, yeah, the division that was furthest away made great time in getting the high ground on our side, overlooking Perryville. I think if we force the crossing here, we could probably embed ourselves in Perryville quite nicely. So Brooks has a brigade. Can I get Brooks to actually take this building? Or the buildings on that side of Perryville? And then sort of dare the CSA to come to us? So we can push them off there. Scammon I ordered up just to this ridge here. It's, again, more for role-playing reasons, but can see all the way down there. So Brooks is moving up. Puzzles is moving to shoot any troops that come down this road. Eventually the artillery will get here, and there's really nice hill over here. As long as you're not getting shot up by infantry, you should be just fine. Yeah, so those skirmishers, maybe with cav support, knocked out. It was a depleted regiment. I mean, that regiment was not much larger than one skirmisher group, never mind all the skirmishers who were shooting at him. Here, the CSA definitely should be using their own skirmishers. All right, and now they are marching people back, so go figure. This feels like a pretty smart AI. I don't know why it doesn't always feel this way, but it certainly feels that way now. All right, Abbott is, as we see, so is Matthews part of Abbott? Yeah. And Abbott has no one that's going to be positioned out here on the left. Then I think it makes sense to rotate Matthews. You know what? I don't know about that artillery position. It seems a little too close to the fighting, but might be a case of take what you got. All right, they're gonna end up over there. Yeah, you know what? That's probably fine. Matthews, take your skirmishers and I'm gonna try to deploy you to the left here. And again, the reason is to just brush off any brigades that attack. This seems to be a path that goes nowhere, right? You can't cross there. If you want to cross, you got to cross back here, come up the road, and go. I mean, it shows a ford, but I don't know. Maybe it's there. Ah, it shows it on this map, so probably does exist. Never mind the wounded. So we are capping Walker's Bend. Okay, let's speed it up here because I don't want to be here all day. It actually is great, but just because it's great doesn't mean I want it to go on forever. But it has been a fun campaign. Alright, still ever so slowly capping. I don't know why is forest or deforest? Alright, I guess you can see. Yeah, this would be a very interesting place to fight a defensive battle. I mean, there's quite a few choke points, so it's not like there's only one or two. But there's other areas for the attackers to support it. But then, man, with all those stone walls, that's got to be something. Brooks, why are you so far back? Thought I ordered you up. No? I swear I did. Alright, I'll send a regiment up there. Maybe send the rest of Brooks after that. Well, that's silly. Right, we're not going to pull that regiment out. Eh. Okay. So they're in. Oh, it's Heyman. Doing. Well, maybe it's not what you're doing. I don't know. What I thought you were doing. All right, so we took Walker's Bend. Run, Johnny, run. I guess they've just straight up abandoned it. Maybe not. Or maybe they're all coming this way. I don't know. It's probably one of those. Zook's Brigade. I think we can order them over. Meanwhile, we have these brigades in position. And that's got to leave us with the 3rd Brigade that we're just stick out on the high ground overlooking it. Dimmick? It's got to be Dimmick. Yeah, so we'll stick them there. I think we'll rotate Matthews further this way. May have to put the artillery like right here on the road. Just fine. I still think it looks good, man. Uh-oh. That sounded like my other cav on the hill. Oh, poor Scammon. Oh. Oh, poor Scammon. All right. Oh no. Yeah, you're just done, Scammon. Sorry. Sorry. Well, Sykes, it's about to get violent here, so let's remove you as my soon-to-be last functioning cavalry. Oh, Scammon. How did you get there? Oh no, Barnes. Oh no. Oops. I guess they didn't like their spot. Well, there goes scamming, but we do have a lot in position that's ready for it. And I would also say that the 3 extra regiments over here are unneeded. Just need enough to hold Perryville. Yeah, they might have enjoyed having their way with scamming, but not sure they're gonna like the rest of this too much. Okay, we're gonna move that brigade up there. That brigade up there. Where are you? Okay, Lovell's still getting kind of in position. Yes, yes, as bad as this was, the CSA ain't still here. So, let's watch the bigger fight. This thing looks awesome. It looks awesome. Yikes. How's my artillery doing? Should be able to tee off on that regiment. Well, Edgar's already wounded, so. Okay, we can move you. Well, he was kind of sticking out. All right. Send in that wave. They say they can go that way. I will believe it when I see it. Interesting battle. Big fight over there, big fight over here. Goodbye, Edgar. we're making progress. I like to see that. Are all my batteries, they seem to have targets. They believe they have targets, so. Alright, Prince is here. Man, that looks cool. Alright, Prince is going to advance that away. Alright, Paul, get back there. Oh no, our attack is stalled. They have a pretty nice firing line. This battery really just get dunked on? Yeah, they did. Absolutely did. Guess we're gonna have to rotate to counterbat. Logan's almost gone. Gordon and Grinstead are the last. Well, I guess Zachary's a small regiment. Yeah. There's not that much holding them back. I do see Stevens is there, but again, it's a small regiment. There is another regiment here. The final one under Morgan. And we're going to move Brooks up here. Alright, we will push them that away. And now we'll just focus on... Man, that looked cool. I do like how the CSA is contesting this point. Alright. So that was a way up. I don't think we have to go crazy here, but we will try to push up. Same there, because Prince's brigade is joining us, and Matthews is already over here. So we're almost gonna have a blue line that kind of just snakes around in that candy cane or whatever the shape is you want to call it, but are we ever gonna break these guys? I don't think there's that many more. I feel like we should eventually break them and maybe send someone to skirm that artillery down. Alright, I think we've turned our counterbat on and we're on the extreme left of our line. Oh no, and they just ordered... I don't understand why the AI sometimes makes these decisions. I think we're just going to order them up like that, rather than have them do stupid stuff. They look like they took a bad angle. we're turning it back. We are getting it back. Dimmick's brigade. Oh man, they retreated. Dimmick is there. Zook. I wonder if the CSA is going to try to fight out of this pocket here. Maybe not. We will see. Is the CSA trying to break out here? Okay. Kennett is still around to shoot, so they did not break him. Well, we got most of them. Try to chase down that artillery, because, you know, good riddance. I don't know if we'd be able to get there and cut that off. But it's probably asking too much. That looks like the retreat path of that whole division. Uh-oh. Sykes? Where? Was Sykes even mine? Oh, he was the Cav commander. I don't know, that name did not resonate with me. Sykes, Scammon, and Nagley, I think, were the ones. Alright. Well, we'll get a little bit of retribution. Alright, but we don't need to do it slowly. I guess they could just hop across here and get out that way, but what fun is that? And I guess Sykes is too nervous to do it. I don't know if we're pinning those units in and capturing them. Wouldn't do us any good because we we don't have prison camps, but I feel like prison camps should be exempted from the kind of credit rating limit. They were a cool idea, but they ran into some balancing problems that were linked to other things, and I don't think there's any way to delink them. The easiest solution is to just build them at the very beginning of the game, and then to mod out the effect of the support buff of the other side if they don't have enough prison camps, which basically makes the prison camps largely irrelevant. I mean, as long as you have one, it doesn't matter how overcrowded it is, but you get to hold those that are captured. So yeah. But anyways, that was I don't know, man. I don't know what it's like looking at it, because I don't really watch these back, but I'll listen to the sound and some other things, but that was a cool part of a cool map. And yeah, if they had that third division as I did, how that might have been different. Officer law, yeah, so Sykes is dead. He was wounded. So for them, it's 520 killed. For us, it was 380 killed. So we actually took fewer. how that is possible. Maybe a lot of it probably changed at the end, but that was all over here. And so that should free up the 4th Corps, assuming they have enough readiness. Burns doesn't. Lovell does. Abbott kind of does. We got to see how they break. And yeah, I'm not the first person to complain about the AI's retreat path. See, it's the thing. They still think that this is CSA territory. When it is not. What do we have here? We have what might be a large fight. And it looks like everybody is more or less going to be there at the same time. So is this kind of a Battle of Richmond? Well, it might be one that we could at least take a look at and see how it is going in. I mean, the Fredericksburg map is cool. This is also one that sometimes it says Fredericksburg, but it ends up being Chancellorsville or Wilderness. Big letdown, but I don't know if it's ever a random one. Like so many other things, I have modded it that you're less likely to get the historical maps on the historical places. I just reduced the distance, so it's not really a probability. It's more of a proximity thing, and this should allow more random maps to generate, which is kind of cool if you get tired of fighting on the same map all the time. But yeah, so far the whole giving the CSA larger divisions hasn't really worked out for gaining them a numerical advantage on the battlefield, but it's really early in testing that. All right, cool. This might be a short one. I had to say, right? CSAs looks like they're definitely going to come in this way. We get to hold. Well, this is actually kind of a junky point. Let me see. 55333. So 10, 16 points. They're not that close. This is a good position overlooking Fredericksburg. I wonder if this is one where we can kind of defend it. I don't know, maybe we just defend in here. Beck's Island, this canal, Fredericksburg itself, the railroad, right? Especially if they're going to come in this way. And then kind of say to heck with the rest of this if it doesn't work out. Right, we have Kilpatrick's division, which we could easily put in here. I'd probably do some other things and then bring you all in because most of my force isn't here yet, but I don't know that we need to overthink this one. All right, so the good news, we found them. And we're going to withdraw Wilder's Cav. They seem to be coming more or less right toward us, and so I guess I have to be pretty pleased with that. I think it can get a little tricky here, right? If I want to send this brigade out to get the railroad and deny them, then it's easier for the AI to come up and around, right, if they're on this road. And so this might just have to be the best that we can do. Right now we've garrisoned that building, that set of buildings, I should say. We garrison, is this a different set? Well, then we'll garrison that as well, I guess. And here, we'll move you down here. But the gist of this is that we should be pretty well defended, right? Yeah, we're bringing Old Kill Cavalry back. Wilder's coming back. Yeah, you're coming back. That's fine. I would like to keep some eyes on. Here, we'll go over here. We're playing it a little risky in that we don't have much in the way of reserves. Actually, we don't really have any reserves, but That happens when you don't care to. Alright, we'll really try to get this artillery looking as right as we can, but also probably with good enough sight lines to be able to shoot down. Alright, we can bring Cochrane back. Probably for roleplay. We would want to be up top, I think. Okay, we'll move you there. Wilder, you can keep your skirms out, or your vedettes out for now. But we'll see if, the ad could still juke us, move off to the side, try to take a really circuitous route, I guess, to some of the 3-pointers. I guess well, I don't think there's anywhere to cross further down. And I think they have to come to Fredericksburg to do it. So if they do that, I feel like we have a decent position. You heard the man. Keep calm, boys. Okay, scouts don't seem to be doing us too much good. Could go up here just to hug the fence a bit. Gives us that extra 20, I think it's 20% cover. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, if they actually have 20,000 troops, this is a great time to attack.
Yes, Sergeant.
I think those guns might just have a bad angle. I guess the train doesn't really want to fix it, but we'll try to fix it. I didn't realize how late in the day it was. Don't just reload, shoot. How many times can you reload? What? How many times can you reload without shooting? I feel like I've gotten stuck here before, or somewhere in this area between all those creeks. I think it was in the previous campaign. It does sound like something I would do. Does artillery really not have angles? Huh, maybe not. Patrick, get out here. You gotta pull your cav out, or try to pull your cav out, or something. I think it's gonna work. Uh. No. You guys don't have to actually move down there. I just can't believe you can't find an angle. Maybe back here? Man, Kilpatrick, take your time, dude. Alright, I see the artillery starting to tee off. That's a good sign. Wilder's Cav is no joke, man. Started out with almost 500 men. 3 stars, 3 stars on the commander. Oh my goodness, you got the order, but you didn't follow it. Are you actually going to conduct a fighting retreat? Nope. I guess not. How are they running faster than I am? Well, that's what you get for following too closely. That's what I was trying to do. I thought retreat, they still would have faced the enemy and fallen back, but now it looks like... Okay, now they kind of figured it out. They may will break. I mean, 4 stars? That's an elite unit. Unfortunately, my skirms met them on the railroad track, so that's too bad. Grab those skirms? No. Oh, they're gonna break it. Oh man, I should have known that was coming. But at least Wilder's only wounded. Well, Fulton's almost done. He might have knocked out a unit of skirmishers, but... I'm guessing that unit's getting the railroad cover. Yeah, they're getting the embankment cover. Don't ask. Well, we're about to trade cav units. I'd still rather have Wilder, but... it's a little bit of a consolation. Alright, good. They all found positions to fire from. I got no complaints. think maybe we'll just swarm Posey's regiment out here. Since they do have that sweet embankment.
Any word from the commander?
That's a tall order. So far, other than Wilder, who's routed and wounded, and some skirmishers, we haven't lost anything. I think they've lost a couple of regiments and a cav regiment. And they haven't even hit the good part of the defenses yet, so... push the skirms up and see if they want to turn to attack us. If they actually do have 20,000, right? If they actually do outnumber us 2-1, they might want to get themselves together here. Oh, Meade is here. 4:30 in the afternoon. All right, he's back there. So I'm gonna send the corps commander here. I'm gonna send Meade himself up here. Yeah, see, the CSA has folks back there. We can certainly try a flank, but the way the roads work here, guess you could go up there. You probably don't want to come down here, so you got to go up there. I don't have to do very much to meet that. The CSA is just expending ammunition and time. And they're losing actual units. And I mean, that's a lost resilience kill there, so they ain't coming back this battle. Stevens, alright, he wasn't actually broke, but he's basically broke. Sanders doesn't have any cover here, so I'd like to move him back. Same with Shirts. What can the CSA do here? I think this is their chance. If we get more reinforcements soon, I wouldn't be surprised if they dropped. Okay, put you there. Throw some scouts out. Meade, you gotta start moving, buddy. I know you're not ready, but you know. Seymour's brigade, oh, they were in that epic battle a little while ago. That one was on the Cold Harbor map. main thrust is still here. Kind of just got to go to assault mode or assault range and just order a charge. Maybe advance behind some skirmishers. I don't know. All of that, none of that, something. For that group of skirmishers, I'm just going to stick them up on the hill so I can have some idea of what's coming my way. My goodness, Meade, man. Are you just not going to move? What's going on? Jeez. It's already starting to tick back in my direction. They got to break through somewhere here. As much as I've tried to nerf skirmishers, and I have, they still seem to do well. Too well. Alright, either my scrims are actually breaking. Yeah, they actually are breaking. Actually, you know what? Stay out there. Oh, now we're getting a fire from the buildings. The artillery, my artillery should be getting some money's worth. Oh, yeah. Not sure what the AI is trying to do here. I guess now they're trying to deal with the skirms that are out here, but I don't think the angle works for him. Maybe it does. Tricky hobbit. Okay, Cars Cav. Should come up right about here. Andrew's artillery can just about face. Post can fall back. You can fall back. Okay. What on earth are you guys doing? Why are you trying to move? Can't say I understand all that. Yeah, my guess is that Clark's battery is just going to give him canister. Yeah, unless they have artillery to take these buildings out. I don't see that going anywhere, man. You got units back here. Still fighting my skirms. So they're going all the way around. Okay, car. Let me get you over here. Well, yeah, let me get you here. My goodness, Mead man. Okay. What was this? Skirmishers I sent? Yeah. And whoever Powell is, he's withdrawn. You know, it's probably not worth having Wilder die if I can get him to live. That's fine. All that's fine. Let's see what the CSA is doing down here. I think when we go to Nightfall here, if the battle is still going, we're just going to call it an episode, because we've run well over 90 minutes. Wadsworth, that's a new division. Let's see, Harker's regiment just does not care at all about any of this. Huggins is almost done. CSA is getting a decent push here. It's too bad that they hadn't planned to send those forces to line up over here, or to press down the Telegraph Road. Alright, Picard is here. Meat is chugging along. Alright, so it looks like the attack on Fredericksburg itself has just completely failed. And now it's just the other areas. Yep, that's kind of what I thought would... Wow. Well, it was almost Fredericksburg, so... yeah, that's a good place to end this episode. Man, it's a lot of battling. Yet again, so... That was a fun one. It's a pretty fun one. I thought it was gonna... Nah, there's no way. With, you know what, even just that the one division that was there, I think we would have held our ground. We would have gotten a ton of engineering points, which I never used when I first came in. I mean, we could have just made that place such a Gibraltar there of the Potomac, or whatever it is. Yeah, I think I also ought to end this episode because I think I'm testing my luck here. We almost froze it up on our way into that battle, and coming out, I'm not too sure. So for them, it's only 300 killed, 63 killed for us. But, you know, it's As always, we get the win here, so that entitles us to do other things on the map, and those other things, I think we can see what some of them are, and the rest we'll have to wait and see how they go in the next episode.